Welcome one and all to another. Welcome one and all to another edition of the Defo Show with Lubie here on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Brought to you by Water Cleanup of Florida. Are you a South Florida property owner with an insurance claim? Are you dealing with water, mold, or fire damage to your home or business? Are you having trouble locating a 5-star rated general contractor that is fully licensed, certified, and insured? If the answer is yes to any of these questions, then Water Cleanup of Florida is here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With over 60 years of combined experience, Michael, Robert, George, and their entire team is prepared to handle any size property damage disaster. When an unexpected damage occurs to your home or business, you need specialized, fast, and reliable services. Water Cleanup of Florida understands the impact and stress an unexpected disaster may cause. Their objective is to make the cleanup and insurance claim process painless and hassle-free. And if any of us have dealt with insurance, it usually is not hassle-free. So if they can do that for you, believe me, that's worth its weight in gold. Water Cleanup of Florida is also a licensed general contractor. So they provide the A to Z service, one-stop shopping that business homeowners and business owners require. Water Cleanup of Florida is now an authorized dealer of Eurocraft cabinets. So premier kitchen, bath, and laundry cabinetry, countertops, and other accessories are available for your viewing at their showroom in Boca Raton. Or do you prefer to shop from your home or office? Then Water Cleanup will send one of our design specialists to you with samples and products that fit your style and budget. Call Michael anytime on his personal cell phone if you have any questions at 954-579-0356. Again, that's 954-579-0356, or visit their website at wcufl.com. You can follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Water Cleanup FL. And please check out their over 5-star, 80 or more probably by now, 5-star reviews on Google and Facebook. Water Cleanup of Florida. If you have the schmutz, I'm telling you, I've seen it. They have the guts. The Miami Heat finally, after 4 performances on the road, showed lots of guts last night against the Philadelphia 76ers, staying within 3 games of the New York Knicks, at now the 5 seed, within 2 games of the Nets at the 6 seed in the Eastern Conference. We talked about the Miami Heat and their attempts to avoid the play-in and find their way into a top 6 seed in the Eastern Conference today on the Defo Show with Lubie on the 5 Reasons Sports Network.
The Heat last night, though, they have been the most, not the most, but the third worst, at least efficient three-point shooting team in the league. They're horrendous. And that was a big thing. They wanted to get, and we mocked this. We didn't even mention this guy, right? Because the acquisition of Kevin Love was like, all right, what's that going to do? And, he had some, impact on the game last night. Actually, for the time that he was in the ballgame, he had a fairly positive impact. Nice. I would imagine he had a big plus number while he was on the floor. Grabbed a couple of rebounds, made a couple of threes, clever pass or two, and looked like he was hustling. But this Cody Zeller, who had not played, I think he retired at the same year as Nate Thurmond.
I don't think he retired. I don't think he
Whatever, he was out of the league,
Yes,
though, wasn't he?
yes.
I mean, he was playing in, like, Saudi Arabia or something. He was thinking about going on the Live Tour.
I don't know if he was.
No?
I don't think he was going to Turkey. Like, I think he still was NBA viable.
He had Istanbul still stenciled on his shirt that he had to turn inside out so he could play for the Heat last night.
I'm trying to think of why.
And this guy, literally, he's running up and down the court like a maniac. And I don't remember him looking like, the most aesthetically looking athletic specimen while he was playing in the past. But wasn't he also like a decent three-point shooter, Cody Zeller? Or am I way off on that?
He was a big he could be the stretch 4. He was a top 10 pick. I think it was Indiana. I think he was out of Indiana.
So you don't think of this guy mixing it up on the inside necessarily with Joel Embiid. And early in the game, I'm laughing. I sent you a text. I said, can you believe this? They got Cody Zeller trying to guard Embiid.
Yeah, that's always fun.
And then late in the game, when, the so-called money was on the table, and it was, they were exchanging wild fast breaks. By the way, the pro fast break is just still a thing of beauty. I mean, these guys are amazing. I don't know how they do that. I mean, can you really practice all of this stuff against live action? There's no way. But the Sixers had a break last night where like 4 guys touched the ball, and each guy had it for only a split second. And they just made a series of like absolutely dynamite passes to come right up the court there. And you're thinking, my God, man, the pace of this game which made what Zeller did even more impressive because he hasn't been playing, right? He hasn't been out of the league, right? Was he doing anything? Well, he was working out on his own there in altitude.
I think he was on a team. He just wasn't playing. Because it said in 2021 he played, and he's playing now. So I don't think he went to Europe for a year. I'm trying to figure out.
I thought he was driving a Greyhound bus or something.
I don't think he was out of the league. He just wasn't playing.
And the Heat just signed him because they knew Udonis Haslem didn't want to get involved in any more minutes during the course of the season. His contract only called for 37 minutes, and I think he's already played that much.
Yeah, he's started.
Imagine he has a mandate in there, like one of those pitch count things or innings things that you would see Scott Boras negotiate into a contract. So they're going to pay the guy $50 million a year, and he can't pitch more than 114 innings. Strasburg, I think, had that, right?
Yep.
The guy, with the
Harvey
Nationals.
had that. Years. They're like, UD, come in. He's like, no, I'm good. I'm at 38. I'm good.
Sorry, baby. No wonder the game took for fucking ever. They had to figure out on average how many innings this guy could pitch in a game in August so that he wouldn't exceed 160. Exactly. I mean, where's Ron Guidry when you need him, man? They go 25-3. Nice. This Zeller, I mean, he makes a great play on the offensive end, I think, to, go in and jam one or get a layup, and then goes sprinting down the floor. And he did. He looked like the chief in Cuckoo's Nest running down the floor. And, I mean, just wobbling all over the place. It wasn't like you were watching Skeets Nehemiah, skim the hurdles in the 110 high. And he blocks Embiid, who's going in for, like a surefire layup or dunk. And I thought, my God, talk about Heat culture. This is it. It's called Louis Pasteur, man. We found something new. I mean, this is a culture we've never seen before. How the hell was that guy able to do that? Unbelievable. That was fantastic. So then the Heat, I mean, a typical NBA game, right? They seem to be in command the entire time. They're fluctuating between, I mean, it got down to 4 a couple of times, but mostly it was fluctuating between like an 8 and 4 point Heat lead. This is in the late stages. Did you catch any of this, Lubie, or were you not watching?
Like I've said a few times, I don't have Bally Sports. So I scorecast the games, and I was sitting there with bated breath going, oh, my God, they're leading. What is going on?
What were you watching it on your phone?
I couldn't watch it. I just scorecast. I just keep, when you were at the
track. Oh, yeah, when I was doing that baseball pool. Yeah.
When you're refreshing, you're like, what the fuck? Like you with the score phone.
What do you mean there's a guy on second?
It was like you, like Andy was talking about, explaining the score phone to me, because you've talked about it, but you never explained it. He's like,
the score phone was
50 cents a call, and then you would call sometimes it'd be backlogged. Yeah. And Ken was like, I used to call the West Coast newspapers because they would be awake still, and they'd have the scores. I'm like, what the hell are you people doing? Like,
this is real sick degeneracy. I mean, you used to be able to call one of those phone lines and get Yonkers race replays and recreations. So you dial it up, and it'll be like 99 cents, and you'll get to 6 at Yonkers. That's balls to the wall Hanover now in front by a length, and he continues to lead here under Delinsko.
I always had ESPN my whole life, so I never had to go.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm so used to the channels that I watch, and I've been, it's one of the things you keep telling yourself is like, get off your back and stop watching so much TV. Although, being a big sports fan I am, I'm in heaven being able to flip around and watch all this stuff. I'm not quite at the Jim Sarney level, but where I'm watching women's paraplegic lacrosse.
It's not even a joke. You refer to sports, and I'm like, is that really a sport?
Yeah. And I don't mean to, poke any fun at people, because the goal of the year in soccer was accomplished by an amputee. Did you see that, man?
Oh, nice. Good for them.
Guy in one leg, man, and with a bicycle. I don't know how this guy did that. That was miraculous. Unbelievable. I mean, holy Pele. That was fantastic. So anyway, I mean, typical NBA game. It looks like the Heat are going to finally wilt in the end.
Yeah.
With all due respect to the late, great Wilt Chamberlain, speaking of the 76ers, or at the time they were the Philadelphia Warriors. Remember Hal Greer from the free throw line?
That I don't remember.
Boom.
No,
That's when like a 16-footer was a bomb, like you would, if you were outside, the top of the key, it was like, hey, what are you, a chucker? What is that?
Yeah, it was stupid to shoot that shot.
Corner shot was always a pretty easy shot, no?
Yep.
Don't you think? Corners,
yeah.
Both corners, or left corner only?
I thought both.
No, you would probably like the right corner.
I like the either corner and straightaway.
Baseline was a good place to work for any kind of jump shooter. It really was.
Yep.
It's a lot of skill. But the Heat managed to maintain, and then they get a spectacular bucket. Jimmy Butler,
what the
who
fuck
had
was that?
stated, and the announcers proclaimed that Jimmy Butler said he was tired of losing.
No, he said it. He said it
Yeah.
after the last game because they played a horrible Hornets team and were dominated. It was a joke. I don't care who did or didn't play. It was asinine. Like it looked like garbage, and he was like sick of it.
Again, I mean, they'd been shooting like abysmally from 3-point range, but it's not like they're reluctant to put up a bunch of shots from the Coke machine.
That's the problem.
And it was ugliness. A very inconsistent season for the Miami Heat, you would have to say. They won a lot of close games though. They have like 14 games that were decided by I think 3 points or less that they won, which it shows that what. Can they play defense at the end of games? They managed to make a couple of good defensive plays, though. Adebayo had a block on Embiid late in the ball game, and Embiid was a little bit away from the basket. That was no easy play defensively. And they came up with a bunch of turnovers. And then Harden has a chance to win the game, and he floats up a brick, and that was it. So the Heat win it. And there you go. I mean, just when you think you would be able to just pound Philadelphia into Bolivian, my friend.
Yep.
Laying 6 in a hook at home against a team that is staggering. They just lost to the Charlotte freaking Hornets.
Yep.
For their 4th consecutive loss. Spoelstra, a little ball spot. Not quite like mine,
coming.
but a
It's
little
not
ball
mine,
spot.
But it's coming, yeah.
Have you noticed that? Too young of a man for this.
Yeah.
And the grease doesn't really hide that.
No.
If you're thinking about, like, maybe you should grease the hair a little bit because you're getting that yarmulke in the back, people, forget about it. Just look at Eric Spoelstra. I think it amplifies it. It exacerbates the
when you
situation.
put liquid in your hair and you're balding, it's the worst thing. It accentuates the baldness.
Exactly.
I've done all the math the last 10 years.
Yeah. Ronnie Rothstein had hair when he took over the team. Remember that? He had a nice big Jewish fro.
He did.
2 years later, he was bald as an eagle. And he kept looking at Ronnie Cycli, eyeball to eyeball, and saying, "Why, Ronnie? Why?" Unreal. All right, but a nice win, you would have to say. The people on 5 Reasons Sports Network, which we love, by the way. Thank you very much for the nice response we're getting there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're going to send them some of this Heat material here today, but
I will. I've already marked it.
I was thinking, I don't know if I was up to it, just doing a spoof because obviously they're huge, with Heat followers on 5 Reasons Sports Network. And Scoop Skolnick, I mean, is there a more brilliant guy? I mean, it's a toss-up between Scoop and Ira Winderman. Who is, just more authoritatively knowledgeable about the Heat, and tracking them in history. Now Winderman's been there since year number 1. I think Scoop came along a little bit later on into the Heat's existence. Would you think that's a fair statement? Yeah.
Yeah, he's just 50. I mean, Winderman's, I would think, a little older.
Yeah, Winderman's got to be, approaching geezers at Caesars like me. No?
I don't know about that.
He's probably younger than I am, but everybody is at this stage, which, is an unfortunate realization, when you wake up every morning and you go, where am I? What am I doing?
Jesus.
I wake up like Chuck Wepner from an 8 Count.
Just come to.
I think I'm from New Jersey. Okay. All right. You can keep fine there, Chuck. Get back in there. You're bleeding from every pore.
Oh, my God.
All right, so anyway, what does it mean? I was going to do this thing about, how the Heat have no chance to win a championship this year. I would be willing, honestly, Lubie, and this is not to, let's face it, it's been an excellent franchise. Pat Riley is a god in my estimation. I mean, when he honored us with that 10-year anniversary thing, I don't know if you saved any of that stuff, but I was thinking we ought to incorporate some of that stuff into some kind of intro for the show.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because we had everybody. We had like Marino. We had Riley. We had the whole world saying, hey, this is great. You guys have been together 10 years. And we facetiously were saying, well, we don't know how much longer it's going to last here. Did we make it to 11?
It's funny.
And a lot of people had the under on that, and they weren't far off.
Yeah, we were about
right? Because we made it like 11 and a hook. Did we make 12? I don't know. I don't know if we made 12.
It was
Not
September
quite,
of the 11th, the 12th year.
Right, when the Brady Quinn show debuted.
When they started the scintillating Brady Quinn show that no one's ever heard from.
The indignities that you have to suffer in the entertainment business. I mean, we'll never live that one down, will we?
No, that's tough.
On my grave, it should say it was,
the only person to lose their story.
Bench for Brady Quinn. Yeah.
Brady Quinn. That's like that Paxton Lynch. He's the only guy to ever be benched by every single professional in a football league.
Yeah.
It's us. Brady Quinn never took anyone's job but ours.
Never. It was not even a consideration. I mean, it would be like giving Johnny Manziel your starting quarterback job if you were the Jets this coming year. Unbelievable.
Exactly.
More chance than that. Better job, though, shooting threes, man. They were smoking from three-point range in Miami Heat just to wrap that whole thing up on last night's game.
Yeah.
And I don't know. What does it mean? Does it mean anything? The Knicks continue to win. They beat Boston.
That's annoying, the Knicks winning. I didn't even know the Knicks played.
Tom Thibodeau is turning around. He's now a favorite son of New York. They despise Thibodeau.
They hate
Speaking
him.
of ball
My
guys,
buddy hated him 3 weeks ago.
and he looks like he is suffering from just massive, uncontrollable hemorrhoids. No, doesn't he look like he's in pain the entire time that he's coaching?
It's actually not wrong.
There are some guys that look that way, and that's just the way they look. Like Barry Trotz, who, by the way, just became the GM somewhere, or is about to become a general manager, whatever franchise he's with now. I think he's in Ottawa. No, I'm not sure. It's probably it's a U.S. franchise. Barry Trotz, the guy's retiring. Whoever was at the helm there, he's been the GM there for like 25 years, and I don't even know Trotz was still in the league. So maybe he was working as an assistant GM. Barry Trotz, the little guy who is going to be played in his biography by
Predators?
Nashville. That's it.
Okay.
So what was he doing with the Predators before he became? Now he's like the GM in waiting. It's kind of a Jimbo Fisher deal. Yeah. Anyway, we always wished that he was here, Barry Trotz. Wouldn't that have been great? Could have had this guy coaching instead of this, French Joe Philbin that we have, Paul Maurice Chevalier. Maybe they'll do some good. I don't know. All right, let's get into a couple of things. And then there's a lot more ground to cover here because it was a fabulous weekend on the sporting scene. And we missed you guys yesterday. We really did.
Yeah.
We were able to join you for the Mike Mayo Lunchbox, and you guys are going to be on the road today, correct?
Yes, Willie T's for a visit.
Willie T's. Now, that's down there on 17th Street area, right?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. This guy's become a restaurant magnate, and he came from really not only humble beginnings, but really tough beginnings for his family. So it's super cool.
Wow.
His story. So I'm really excited.
Oh, great! Yeah, and it's the last day of what is called Black History Month, which
we may, how long we have that in the state.
Yeah, how did that get by the latest legislative session here with Ron DeSantis at the helm?
I'm sure at some point soon it will be the next thing.
Pretty soon it'll be White History Month.
We don't get all.
That'll be great. Way to go, Ronnie boy! All right, that's a whole nother story though. Anyway, you guys are going to be 12 o'clock. I'll try and join you. I don't know if Mayo will have me, but I'll try and join you guys.
You two are
all right,
funny.
good. Because,
if you want to join, I would do
like I was saying to you this morning, it wasn't like we were talking about whether or not to, provide the Ukrainians with nuclear weapons and aim them straight at Putin's head.
Well, you guys, I guess, not disagree about things. You're not wrong. I'm like, I don't care about any of this. Like none
exactly. I mean, but we were more likely talking about whether to order the cheesecake at a Mexican restaurant. Which is the Jewish thing, Mexican? Do they really make a cheesecake, or where are they getting it from?
That's actually true.
Is that a mistake or not? I don't know. What do you think?
If they had a cheesecake, I'd probably try because it's like, why do they have a cheesecake? Maybe it's really good.
Which was exactly my point.
That was your point. I get it. And I got your point. I got his point. And I thought that was understood, but for some reason we kept circle jerking. Didn't understand
I got a little wild, man. I don't know.
You guys got uncomfortable. I
walked away with a funny
Mayo
feeling.
Has a thing. He likes to zets, and it's okay, but we move on from the Zets. Like, we do a little, and then move on. He likes to live in the Zets, which, okay.
Oh, yeah. Keep coming back to the same thing. I mean.
I'm not mad about it. It's a different way of doing things. People do it. We just don't do it. Like, that's not our thing.
No, you want to punt the ball down the field there and get your defense out there and see if you can't get a 3 and out and move on.
Like, literally, we don't stay on any topic long.
I don't even know that we ever complete a topic. I have a list of topics here that I wrote down last night, believe it or not. A list of notes here, and I didn't get to any of them there.
Oh, my God.
That's great. I'm not sure that we accomplished anything, but we are having a lot of fun. Glad you guys are tuned in. Always appreciate the comments on the comment line there. And I still don't fully understand the NBA playoff. I'm being honest. I'm not, I'm just making this up to make a joke. I'm trying to figure out, wait a minute. So the 7th seed plays the 8th seed.
But where do they play?
In a one-game outing, and the 9th team plays the 10th team in a one-game outing.
Yes, and then the winners
play. So whoever wins that 7th versus 8th, they're automatically the 7th seed. And then now the winner, the loser of that game, don't they have to now play whoever won the other game to see who advances? And there's a possibility you could have been the 7th or 8th seed and get knocked out. No?
I think that's what it is. I think you can be an 8th seed and then not be in it. And that's the
Or a
problem with
7
the
seed,
plan.
even, right?
Yes.
Now, you're not guaranteed a
You
spot
can be
even
a
if you're the
7
7
seed and lose right away.
If you lose 2 games as a 7 seed, then you're out.
Yes, that's it. It's happened. They played it the last 2 years, so that shows you how much I pay.
That's
attention
what's
to the
happening,
plan.
Heat fans.
Yeah, you don't
You
want to
watch
be there.
out for that, man.
Yeah, you don't want to be there. Like, the Knicks are doing what they need to do. The Knicks are now in the 6th seed, firmly entrenched. I mean, that's where
They had to give Cody Zeller oxygen after that play on that beat. Did you see that? He ran right off the court there. This is what's going to take us to a championship. No, they couldn't hustle anymore. What is it about Heat culture? Do they inject it into you right away? You sit in the office with Riley and they strap you in a chair and they go, "Argh."
It's true.
Even if you were a lazy-ass bum before this, you're running up and down the court like a maniac there. You're not just running to the corner and going, here, as the other guys are battling it out, getting elbowed by Embiid and these other maniacs. And trying to keep up with Harden while Doc Rivers is screaming, you suck, Zeller. Let's get into a little Hialeah Park, man. Great time. I tell you what, it was very, very refreshing for me to get back out there to Hialeah Park because...
yeah, it's annoying that the Knicks, because he could have been a game and a half out of the 5 seed. Right now, the Knicks played a Celtics team with plenty to gain, and the Knicks dominate the Celtics last night. So the Knicks now still 2.5 above the Heat. They've now jumped the Nets, and they are now in the 5 seed. I still have the feeling, look, if you can see Jimmy Butler play like that and get contributions from Zeller and Love, which, again, none of their contributions were astounding. They were just something you can actually hit some 3 balls, which they did last night. I don't understand what's going on with Bam the last 2 games. He's been great all year. A 14-point affair, a 13-point affair. Hero, a couple games ago in a loss, had 33, and then has 8. So I don't know what you're getting from those guys, but Oladipo chipped in 11, was nice from 3. You actually hit some 3 balls. You played some defense on the stretch. You held one of the best teams in the NBA to under 100 points. That's on the road. Last night was a Heat game that we haven't seen in a little bit. If we can see that down the stretch, they are better than the Knicks. The difference from the Knicks is they've been playing consistent for the last month, every single game. The Heat haven't. The Heat have given you a really good game, and then a bad game, and then 4 bad games, and then a couple good games. Last night was a big game for the Heat. Let's see if they can keep doing that. Wednesday, they take on the Sixers again, this time at home. It's going to be tough down the stretch for the Miami Heat. I think the next 8 games, every single team they play is right now a play-in or playoff team. The Heat will get themselves hopefully playoff ready in the next week or so. We are ready each and every day. We treat it like it's the playoffs in our morning show, 7 to 9, the Defo Show with Lubie on South Florida Live. Check out our national podcast. We have a lot going on coming up later in this week. The Believe Network, BLEAV.com. Search After Hours. And right here, our South Florida content, the Defo Show with Lubie on the 5 Reasons Sports Network.
Play the ponies in style at Champions, the outstanding simulcasting room at beautiful Hialeah Park. Yes, the grand old lady of thoroughbred racing has never been more vibrant, and you can wager on the races from the top tracks around the country while enjoying a cocktail at the Brass Rail Bar or any of the fine food served throughout the facility. If poker is your game, you're covered in style, and you can play all your favorite Vegas-style games, including blackjack, craps, and roulette, in Hialeah Park's sizzling hot casino. Get a player's card when you walk through the door for all kinds of generous amenities, including our favorite, free play, when you come out to the ultimate casino and entertainment destination, Hialeah Park.
These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill in the Plantation, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers, Raw Bar and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.
From the newly renovated sports bar to the beautiful bayside views captured at the Tiki Bar, Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill has it all. Located at mile marker 104, the Big Chill also offers waterfront dining while experiencing breathtaking sunset views of the Florida Keys. It's simply the hottest spot in the Keys to cool off. That's Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill at mile marker 104 in Key Largo. For more information, call today at 305-453-9066.